In this video, I'm going to tell you top 15 places to visit in Paris in 4 days. Watch until end of the video for useful tips to visit Paris. I arrived Paris from London through Eurostar train at Gare de Lyon train station. We took taxi to our hotel in historical core of Paris in Latin Quarter. Paris is a 2000-year-old city of restaurants, bakeries, museums, art, architecture, and fashion. This video is mainly about places to visit in Paris. For restaurants and bakeries, I'll be posting separate videos in future. Paris is a big city, but its major sites cluster in 7 different areas. It is divided by the River Seine. The north of River Seine is called right bank and the south of River Seine is called left bank. The center of the city is Notre Dame, the heart of Paris. It is on an island in the middle of the Seine River, and the area around is called Historic Core and also Latin Quarter. That's where our hotel was located. First tip, always stay in the center of Paris where all the activities are happening, and Latin Quarter is the best place to stay. On day 1, we visited Latin Quarter area around our hotel, the markets and the restaurants and the bakeries. There are many hidden historical treasures in this area which I will cover in another video. We are at Notre Dame Church. It is closed after fire. The majestic building of Notre Dame. It is about 900 or 1100 years old church. Notre Dame is located in an area which is called Isle de la Cite, island of the city. In this area we saw some of the oldest buildings, a puppet show, beautiful view of Seine River, souvenir shops and bookstores along the Seine River and art shops. Saint Chapel is in the right bank of Seine River and it is part of the historic core of Paris. It's at 5 to 10 minute walk from Notre Dame. It is a stunning Gothic cathedral built in 13th century, famous for its intricate stained glass windows depicting 1100 Bible scenes. It was completed in 6 years, whereas Notre Dame took 200 years to complete, a testament to its harmonious architecture. This is a fountain of Saint Michel. There is a bazaar around it, a market. This is a typical Parisian market where they sell jewelry, handicrafts, shawls, cheese, Turkish delight. Bank booksellers or bouquinistes, they have been a permanent Parisian fixture since the mid-1500s when such shops and stalls lined most of the bridges in Paris. We are going to Louvre. Paris is a city of museums with around 136 museums, and Louvre is like best of all museums. Louvre was a royal fortress or palace in 17th century that was turned into a museum in 18th century. With 30,000 plus pieces, it would take 38 days to see all artifacts. We did a crash tour of seeing Islamic section, Mona Lisa, Venus de Milo, Winged Victory, Apollo section, the original palace and coronation of Napoleon paintings, and few other sections on our way. Louvre Islamic art collection is the youngest of museum's 8 departments. It is now housed in a magnificent gallery which was opened in 2012 after a decade of construction. It is the most significant architectural project since the Louvre's glass pyramid debuted in 1989.
These are earliest Greek statues.
The statue of Venus de Milo is from 2nd century BC and she was discovered in 1820 on the Greek island of Melos. This is the gallery of Greek statues from Greek golden period before Christ. This is the statue of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. This is another famous Greek statue, Winged Victory of Samothrace from 190 BC. Now we are in the most crowded section of Louvre, the area where Leonardo da Vinci paintings are, and we saw the famous painting Mona Lisa which he painted from 1503 to 1506. Also saw famous painting of coronation of Napoleon.
This is the original section of Palace Louvre from King Louis, with his artifacts, the palace roof and the toys. Magnificently gorgeous and intricate.
These are human-headed bulls from Palace of Sargon from Iraq, 700 years BC.
This is Michelangelo Garden. We are going to Orsay Museum.
Few minutes from Louvre, across the Seine River, is Museum d'Orsay. This museum has been built in an old train station in 1970, and the building is really remarkable with giant clocks and beautiful architecture. This is a small museum which you can see pretty quickly from 1 to 2 hours. It houses French art from Impressionism era to Post-Impressionism era. It has artwork from famous artists like Manet, Monet, Degas, Renoir, and Post-Impressionist artists such as Van Gogh. In addition, it has Rodin sculptures as well. Monet painting of Saint Lazare Station and Little Dancer of 14 Years statue by Edgar Degas, and Monet's painting Poppies. This museum is a must-visit place if you like arts and architecture. Champs-Élysées. This famous boulevard is Paris' backbone with cafes, restaurants, garment shops and pastry bakeries. You can walk from Place de Concorde near Louvre to Champs-Élysées, and from there you can go to Arc de Triomphe. It's a 2-mile walk, but it's really worth it if weather is nice. This boulevard has been losing its charm over the year with heavy concentration of traffic and all the branded shops. It is not as romantic as it used to be. Arc de Triomphe is located at the end of Champs-Élysées at the intersection of 12 avenues. It was completed in 1836 after 30 years of construction. It was initially commissioned by Napoleon in 1806 after his victory of Austerlitz, in the memory of soldiers who lost their life. We climbed 284 steps on the observation deck of Arc de Triomphe, and the view of Paris was very gorgeous from there. We could see Eiffel Tower, Montmartre and Champs-Élysées. It was definitely worth the climb. We came down through the elevator. My suggestion, if you can skip Eiffel Tower and do this climb. This is definitely worth it.
We are taking train to Versailles.
The train got cancelled, so we had to take a taxi and enjoy our views while going to Versailles. Versailles is located at 12 miles west of Paris, but it took us about 40-45 minutes to get here. Versailles was the royal residence for 100 years for French monarch until French Revolution in 1789. In 1837, it was opened as a museum. Versailles was built around late 17th century by King Louis XIV, the Sun King, who ruled for 71 years. We booked Versailles way in advance, and it was included in the museum pass of Paris. Three French kings and their families lived in Versailles, Louis XIV, XV, and XVI, until the French Revolution. This is the original painting of Versailles of how it was in 17th century, which is very similar to how it is right now. This is Royal Chapel, which is the only place in whole Versailles which is about religion. This is Hercules' drawing room. The painting on the wall is about Christ in the middle of a Venetian party. This is Salon of Abundance, and the paintings on the walls are the children of Louis XIV. This is Venus room with decorative walls and painted ceiling. There is a statue of a confident Louis XIV as a Roman emperor. This is Mercury room, Louis XIV official bedroom.
This is Hall of Mirror, another hallway in Versailles. Beautiful painted ceiling, chandeliers, all across mirrors.
This is Queen's bedchamber. All the queens of Louis XIV and the last Queen Marie Antoinette have lived here.
I'm standing in front of the garden. You can see beautiful view behind me. These are the beautiful gardens of Versailles. Mirror Pool, Apollo Gardens, Roman Gardens. As you can see, the building is behind. And there were orange gardens in this garden as well. Versailles gardens were not just pretty, it defined the authority of Louis XIV. I'm standing in front of Versailles garden. You can see Grand Canal and a fountain behind me, which was built in the Louis XIV time period. Gorgeous view.
From Versailles, we took taxi to the Eiffel Tower, the most iconic structure in Paris, which was built from 1887 to 1889 for the World Fair.
We are at the Eiffel Tower. In front of Eiffel Tower, there is river sign here. People having fun at Eiffel Tower. This is Pompidou Center. It's a modern art museum in Paris. The area is very hustling, bustling.
Through the glass tube, We went up to the top of Pompidou Center and had a gorgeous view of city of Paris. The structure of this museum is very different from any other structure. It is very contemporary. Day 3 we started with Opera Garnier, which is an opera building built for Napoleon III and finished in 1875. It is on the north of the right bank. Highlight of this trip was the grand staircase of Opera Garnier. Gorgeous auditorium with painted roof and carved seating and the beautiful hall. And majestic chandeliered reception halls.
This is Gallery Lafayette. It is a mall right across Opera Garnier, and the main attraction of this is its beautiful engraved roof. This is Montmartre with beautiful view of Paris.
Montmartre is the highest hill in Paris. On top of it, there is a white basilica, and this place is best known for cabaret, nightlife, and bohemian artists.
This is a view of Paris from Montmartre.
We went inside this basilica, which is located on top of Montmartre. It is free of charge. This onion domed white building is actually a structure which is less than 150 years old. The neighborhood of Montmartre is very interesting. You'll find painters, poets, sketchers, and many other people who are singing and performing acrobats.
This is area around Montmartre. We came down a little bit. You can see there are nice cafes, gelato shops, boutiques, restaurants. Here is a magnificent view of Paris from Concorde area. As you can see here, Eiffel Tower is in the backdrop. Paris is a city of museums, city of deserts, and city of palaces. This is the area where all the museums are located. This is Tuileries Park. And I'm standing in front of Museum of Orangerie, where I will be seeing the Monet exhibit. And this is a small museum, this impressionist art. I am here at the Museum Orangerie and in front of Monet's famous lily painting. There is an interesting fact about Monet, that Monet did not get recognition when he made these paintings and other paintings. He was actually discarded by the experts, painters in France. This is Japanese artist portrait statue by Pont Neuf and by the Louis Vuitton store in Paris. We are taking cruise to Seine River from in front of Eiffel Tower.
cruise passed by a historical Pont Alexander III bridge where many Hollywood movies, French movies, and TV shows have been shot.
Here is Musée d'Orsay. Here is our cruise entering into the historical core of Paris.
The cruise is now passing by Pont Neuf Bridge, where we can see again the statue of Japanese artist at Louis Vuitton headquarters. We would recommend this cruise to be done during night time, where you can enjoy Paris in the lights of night time. But we are doing it during daytime because days are pretty long in this month of July when we are here. When we arrived back, the sunset was about to start, and Eiffel Tower and all the bridges looked dreamy and magical.
This is Grand Mosque de Paris. Beautiful architecture. Let's go inside. This was built in 1940 time period. Various Islamic countries were colony, French colony, and they actually brought a lot of refugees from here, like Algeria, Tunis.
This is the courtyard in the mosque. This is the main prayer hall.
This is the Bastille Square, and you can see the Opera Bastille in the background. We are at Père Lachaise Cemetery, and we are going to spend some short time and see some cemeteries of famous people here. This is Haussmann, this is graveyard of Rossini. Haussmann is the one who made Paris what it is today.
Père Lachaise Cemetery has graves of many famous French people as well as celebrities such as Oscar Wilde and Jim Morrison are buried here. Paris should be definitely enjoyed during night time, and left bank is the best area to do that. It is awake late at night with lot of hustle bustle.
View of River Seine near Saint Michel area.
Left bank areas such as Leighton Quarter, Saint Germain des Prés is very lively during night time. During our last day in Paris, we decided to explore the streets of Paris, which is a must-do activity in Paris. First, we explored Rue Claire, which is a quintessential Parisian street with cafes, vegetable and fruit shops, and restaurants.
This is a fruit shop in Rue Claire. Artisan boulangerie in Rue Claire. Cafe Central.
This is Rue de Bouquet, heart of Left Bank, a quintessential left bank street. There were many iconic restaurants on this street, as well as souvenir shops, art shops, jewelry shops, clothing shops. It was a lovely experience exploring this street. Now it is time to go to the airport and say goodbye to this dreamy and magical city which is called Paris. The architecture outside is modern, very different from the architecture I've seen so far. I need to come back to this city to experience the hidden treasures, the food, the bakeries, and the pastries. Goodbye, Paris, till we meet again.